What's up, everybody? About to go live here in just a second, hopefully.
We're still figuring this new system out a little bit.
Yeah, no, we're about to pop off.
There we go.
There we go. Now we get it. So anyways, what's up, guys? We wanted to just jump in here real quick and do a quick little 10-minute live stream and talk about basically spontaneous intimacy. That was one thing that earlier today we were talking about. And we'll also open this up for Q&A if people have those things, but we really only have about 10 minutes. We wanted to jump in here. But what we wanted to talk about was the spontaneous intimacy. And not to be like too TMI or anything like that. But dude, like we just keep it real around here because that's what it's about, is like you got to keep it real in marriages. So anyways, not too much information earlier today. Spontaneously, did our thing right before we were jumping on a coaching call, did our thing, and then got on the coaching call and coached and did our thing. What was cool about it was there was no like, oh, well, let's wait till tonight. We'll do it later tonight. In certain instances, I could have got more work done in that time and finished a project that I was working on. But instead, I got to work on my wife, right? But the cool thing about it was it makes it exciting. It was like, okay, we only have 25 minutes. It makes it fun. We get jump in there and all that stuff that happens. Well, then cool. Also, it's the middle of the day. Like my energy level's high. Her energy level's
Right,
high.
yeah.
She's
Oh.
go ahead. No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, so many times we say, "Oh, we're gonna wait till later," and then when it doesn't happen because we're too tired or there's just too much else going on, by the end of the day, like, we're both our energy, just as you were saying, our energy's too low, and we're just kinda like, "Yeah."
And honestly, like, I think she's gorgeous no matter what, makeup on, no makeup on, but sometimes we'll wait until it's the evening, and then we'll both take showers, and by the time we're done taking showers and the kids are in bed, everything is like 11:15. Like, we've both just been getting after it all day, and then it's like she's done taking a shower, her hair's
My
all messed
makeup's
up off,
off
her
and
makeup's and
everything.
it's like, okay, well, now it, like, isn't, but when she walks around the house looking good and, like, whatever she's wearing, her appearance is on place, it just makes it that much more attractive. And so it's so much more important. Where I see so many couples going wrong is they schedule sex, or it doesn't happen because they're tired, because they make sure that they go, "Well, my whole day is here with work, with kids, with chores, and then we can maybe fit it in at the end of the day. Maybe we can fit it in at the end of the day if we're lucky."
Mhm.
Dude, that is boring.
Right. I
The
mean, I'd rather you schedule it than not do it at all,
worst
but
case scenario.
worst case scenario, very worst case scenario.
Like, there's been the times where, like, we've just been flirtatious all day, and we're like, "Yeah, later tonight, later tonight, later tonight." Man, like, all day, I just can't be like, I'm just thinking about it, and then later tonight comes, and I could care less because I'm freaking tired and whatnot, like, and I hate
Yeah.
to be that guy, but it's like, why not fit it in? But then people are gonna be like, "What do you do with the kids?" And it's like, dude, who's more important, you or the kids? Guess what? I already know your kids are on their video games. I already know they have iPads, and I already know they're watching TV.
Preoccupy them for half an hour.
So it's not like all of a sudden if I say, "Hey, let them watch TV or play the video games or jump on the iPad," that's, like, out of the world because 99% of you are already letting your kids do that.
Right.
Use that as the moment,
It's not for 5 hours, so come on.
and you don't gotta in that moment, it's not like you guys gotta go and put in a 3-hour session. Like, you can get the job done for both of you, so you're both are mutually satisfied, I guarantee in 20 minutes or less. That's one episode of whatever your kids watch, and it can be done. And people are like, "Well, they're gonna hear us." Who gives a flying you know what?
Turn the dryer on.
Right, like, I'm not saying we're getting loud and with Diane's letting the neighbors and everybody know, no, not by any means. But what it is, there's a way to control that, but at the same time, like, if our kids did happen to hear, I want my kids to know that their parents have a good marriage rather than them seeing mom and dad fighting all the time.
Right, mom
Mom
and
and dad
dad don't ever touch. They don't
Yeah, they don't
love
ever
each
touch each
other.
other. That's setting an example for them. I would rather have them think mom and dad are perverts than mom and dad don't ever physically touch each other. That's what I would rather have.
Yeah,
You take your pick,
I agree.
because then that set the same thing up for them, that when they get to marriage, they're gonna think to themselves, "Well, intimacy is not much of a part of a marriage because my parents never did that much of it," or whatever. Set the example. Our kids are 16 and 13 now, but we've been doing this since they were 16 months and 3 months. from the same type of stuff.
Mhm.
Diane's favorite thing is like our bedroom's near the laundry room. She'll go put the dryer on just to kind of put some background noise so she might muffle any sound that's going on. It's not like we're getting wild and crazy. And so that's what we'll always recommend for people is there's always a way. When there's a will, there's a way to make it happen.
Mhm.
I don't care how busy you are, you make sure you pick your kids up from school every single day. I don't care how busy you are, maybe you can make love to your spouse. Both of goes both ways, the same
Yeah.
when you keep it spontaneous, it's awesome. So this is for all the females or males out there who are the ones that their spouses are being pursuing them more, because there's a lot of women that reach out to us and they want it and their husbands
Yeah.
just don't give it. And there's a lot of males, same thing, and their wives don't. So if it's the male who wants more and the wife's not doing it, wives, this week, surprise your husband with some spontaneousness. Don't wait till 10:30 and you've already watched 4 episodes of Yellowstone, now you've talked yourself out of it.
Exactly. Do it before the Yellowstone.
Shoot him a text, tell him come home on his lunch. If that's not doable, guess what? When you get home from work and you know you're about to have dinner, whatever else, say, "Hey, kids, I need to go talk to your dad about something real quick."
Meet me upstairs.
Take him in the room, get down to business, have fun. That's gonna blow his mind crazily. Watch how he loves on you the rest of the night. He's not gonna just go grab a beer and suck back some buffalo wings and ignore you. He's gonna be like, "Yo, what was that?" We hanging out with you, talking, opening up, having fun.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now it's fun. Do you gotta do that every single time? No, but I guarantee when you keep it spontaneous, life's fun. Life becomes that way. It should be that way. Life should be spontaneous at all times.
It adds that much more excitement to your own life, but to your marriage.
100%. So that's our main piece of encouragement that we wanted to jump in here is like definitely let the sorry, I'm just looking at the things. Let spontaneous fly. Like, please. Life is so like that's your marriage is worth it. You're worth it. Let's keep life fun. Life is so much fun. The Bible talks about being childlike, right? When life is fun, like a child likes to have fun, right? And I'm not saying a child likes to have sex. What I'm saying is a child likes to have fun. Like, let's have fun in life. Sometimes it's gonna be spontaneous sex. Sometimes it's gonna be like randomly like, "Dude, do you wanna go do this right now instead of like we had this planned?" Yeah. Do you wanna like, I don't know, like have little Johnny skip his T-ball practice today and like, you guys just wanna go out to dinner and then go out and ride go-karts instead or go do this other something fun? Yeah, like, that's fun, but if we just stay regimented with, like, all the boring stuff in our life, it is not that fun. So
Break the Groundhog Day a little bit.
exactly. So, that's awesome, Scott. Happy, congratulations on your 40 years of marriage.
Amazing.
That's awesome. That's amazing. 40 years is no joke. We've only been married for 17, together for 24. But I'd like to think we're all pros by
25.
it might be 25 by
I
now.
feel like you've been saying 24 for a while.
I know. I don't know. It's just after a while, you just forget. And honestly, it's just a number at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a number to tell me how much I love my wife or how long I've been serving her and treating
Right.
her amazing or vice versa.
Yeah.
So, with that being said about the spontaneousness, does anybody have any questions they'd like us to answer, to jump in and talk about? That could be about intimacy, leadership, marriage, anything, or just anything in specific. Um, Also, I think Walt, you said we plans on any coming to Colorado this year. As of right now, I don't think we have anything on the schedule coming to Colorado. We're gonna
Not
be
yet.
a couple multiple things going on. We're gonna be in the week of February, we're gonna be in West Palm Beach, Florida, speaking at it out there. Um, let's see here. I'm having a mastermind here in Las Vegas this weekend. If anybody ever wants to fly into Las Vegas and come to one of my masterminds, let us know. Shoot us a DM, and I'll let you guys know when the next one is coming up. And
Those are for men.
those are for men. We
Men's
will maybe
mastermind.
do a couples one this year at some point in time, but all of that. So level, man, appreciate you for showing us the love on that. Appreciate it. So what do you guys think? That's what we're here for, is just to shoot, inspire you guys, motivate you, and just show you there's a better way. My favorite thing to teach on is possibility and removing limitations in life.
Yeah.
When you find out what's possible in life and you remove your limitations, I promise you, your mind will be blown and your marriage will be mind will be blown. But if you have limitations in your life, there'll be limitations in your marriage. That's when we're always going to think, well, what's another lateral move we can make to get us feel better? Is there somebody else? Should I get a divorce? Why does this marriage suck? Because you got
Mhm.
limitations in your life. And so when you remove limitations and find out what's possible,
Yeah.
your marriage finds out what's possible because there are no limitations. There really isn't. I don't care who you are. There are no limitations in life. We went and saw this guy speak earlier this year. Dude gets paid 6 figures for an hour speech. His name's Nick. I'm gonna murder his last name, Voice Check or something like that.
Well, yeah.
And dude has
Starts
no
with a V.
arms and no legs, and was born with no arms and no legs, and kills it. So he literally has limitations compared to dude. Like I have 2 arms and 2 legs. Dude has none. Dude makes freaking 6 figures an hour to speak. When he was 6 years old, he was wanting his parents to do things for him, and what they told him was, they said, "No, you do it for yourself." He's like a 6-year-old. And he says, "I have no arms and no legs." They said, "Figure it out."
Mhm.
He at 6 years old figured out how to vacuum the house with no arms and no legs. Literally, go look at him. He doesn't have like a stub from here down. No arms and no legs. He's still vacuuming the house. So if we're having limitations in our life, yo, we got to check ourselves. Phil, you said, "I wish my wife would be interested in watching you guys and having an open ear as much as I watch you guys." I appreciate you, Phil, for supporting and jumping in here and dropping that content or the comment. What I'll encourage you is, brother, is that oftentimes we get messages from people and they say, "I wish my wife would be open to working with you guys," or "I wish my spouse would be open to working with you guys." That would be nice to have both. I'll be real with you. I work with more husbands than I do couples.
Yeah.
We have plenty of couples in our program, but I work with more one-on-one with more husbands.
Yeah.
And so when we say, "I wish they would do it," I'm not saying this is Phil. I said you're just saying about watching the content.
Just in general.
I'm just saying in general, brother, is that it starts with you. Diane didn't become Diane until I looked in the mirror one day and said, "Tommy, you're really not all that great of a husband. Not all that great of a dad." Well, guess what? I didn't argue with her. I didn't yell at her. I made money and provided a better than normal living for her. I didn't yell at my kids, didn't beat them, taught them some lessons. Well, why was I not a great person? Because I wasn't freaking taking life for everything it's worth. I wasn't leveling up. I wasn't growing. I wasn't finding out what's possible. I was just doing the bare minimum. Just because I provided a living and did all that stuff didn't mean nothing. That's called being an adult. That's called being average.
Yeah.
But when we take it on ourselves and I look in the mirror and I say, "Yo, you gotta do better, homie." That's what I told myself. And when I did that, guess what happened? Diane eventually looked in the mirror and said, "Diane, you gotta do better."
Yeah.
And then that's what we got here. So Phil, where I'll challenge you is
Lead by example.
you lead by example, not just for 3 weeks, 3 months. It might take 3 years of killing it every single day, day in and day out. New things, new habits, new disciplines, new hard things, all of that stuff day in and day out. And eventually, when she sees your heart, your actions, your habits changing so much, she'll say, "I gotta have some of that." So, that's my suggestion for you, Phil, is like, yo, you become so attractive, so fruitful that she's like, "I better step my stuff up because if I don't, yo, Phil, he might be gone." I'm not saying you're going anywhere, but she got to be a little bit worried that, yo, Phil is out of my league.
And not just attractive, by the way, as
Physically.
far as looks go, but
Emotionally,
just attractive person, just in general,
attitude-wise.
everywhere. Yeah.
Right,
Confident.
right. So
Altogether.
I know Diane's a catch, so I can't be letting her get out of there.
Likewise.
I got to step my game up every day to make sure I'm better, so she ain't going nowhere.
I think it was just
Let's
that
see
one.
here. We almost got to stop this here. I brought this up to my wife, and I'm glad that she listened, and I also listen. She thinks that if I do things, it is me wanting to always lead to intimacy where I'm generally helping out. And that's where the dialogue comes in there, brother, is when sometimes our spouses, we aren't doing things to get lucky.
Right.
We're doing it because we actually love, but they'll think that because maybe in the past we've done those things and then we've tried to initiate. We didn't do those things to initiate, but they just kind of paired together,
Right.
and it looks that way. So that's where just having an open dialogue and being so honest and vulnerable with each other is key. Without that, it doesn't move the needle forward. And so these would be like talking about where she's like, "That's why you did that earlier," and they're like, "No, babe, like 100% honest, like real, like I didn't."
And then keep showing that you're just gonna keep doing those things with no expectations for that.
Yeah. And then when you have those conversations, you understand each other on that. It becomes a really cool process of what happens. Here's a fun one. How do you guys feel about sex toys in the bedroom? Definitely felt like that was shamed on in the church. Walt, great question. So we'll touch on sex toys, and then we gotta go. Um, I don't think that they're negative or bad. I think you got to be very careful with limits when you start pushing different things into like how what you're actually experimenting with.
Right.
But I think toys, and I'm not saying this is biblical or scripture or anything, I don't think it was toys back then, but what I would say is like, as long as it's not taking away from the intimacy of you, where if you're like, okay, give me this toy and I'm going to mainly focus on that, and then you sit on that side of the bed and then you take care of yourself, that would not be good. If it's allowing you guys to grow better and closer and it's mutually agreed upon and and it's not the main thing every single time, then it's
Right.
a good thing.
Yeah.
But if every single time you have to have a specific toy to be able to get them to their spot, that's when it could become a little bit
You have to be
dangerous.
careful with
And then be careful what I say here.
that.
I can get a little crazy sometimes with certain things, so I won't. Um, Certain sins, and I'm not saying toys is a sin, will open up the door for the next thing. That's why the
Mhm.
Bible says lust is the same as adultery,
Yeah.
and anger is the same as murder, because anger eventually leads to murder, can if it's not tamed, and lust will eventually lead to adultery if it's not tamed. One little thing leads to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. We're seeing it in society right now. You welcome one ideology, and the next thing you know, it's like a rampant fire. That next thing you know, you get to
Yeah.
this crazy spot, and you're like, how the F did we get here? Because we got okay with this. I'm definitely not okay with this, but now everybody else is telling us it's okay with this. We got to
Mhm.
be very careful. It's the same thing in the bedroom. So you start with one thing, the next thing you know, you open it up. It's kind of the thing with porn. That's one of the reasons why porn is bad, because you open the door, and regular porn doesn't do it good for enough for you to start venturing, venturing, venturing. Next thing you know, you're
Crazier and
like,
crazier and
next
crazier.
thing you know, you're on doing it just goes. I can tell you because of what we do for a living, I can tell you stories that started off with innocent type of porn as people think as innocent it is,
None of it's instant.
will get to next thing you know, they're doing insane things
Yeah.
with other people. And the next thing you know, they're like, I have no idea how I got here.
Right.
Just the same person who decided when they were young to have a sip of a beer. And the next thing you know, they're a meth addict.
Yeah.
I've watched that happen too many times. My close personal friends that I grew up with, and I got to that spot. I didn't become a meth addict. I came close to being a heroin addict. I had pain pills was blowing up my nose left and right, which is basically just legal heroin. It's all it is. It all started with me just smoking weed and everybody thinking smoking weed was cool. It ain't cool, believe me. It don't do nothing for your life. And that's a whole other long story. But what I'm saying is, toys can lead to that. One sin leads to that if you don't keep it in check. Most people can't keep it in check, and that's the problem. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying I can. That's why I don't open up those doors.
Right.
It's because it will lead to the next thing. I keep it checked because I'm not willing to say, well, and the next thing you know, you're a freaking heroin addict because it happened to me. And I've watched other people do it in other areas, and I've watched it happen in porn insane amounts of time, ruin marriages and ruin lives. The other day I did a post about porn is just as deadly as fentanyl. I got eaten alive. People are, come on, that's crazy.
It's
No,
true though.
people who have a porn addiction, guess what? They will become addicted to substances because they need to numb that aspect of their life that
Mhm.
sucks. Right. And so it's hard. I know this. This is what we do for a living. It's the same reason why I wouldn't tell a mechanic that I know better than them. I don't know better than them about their cars. They're the professional. We've seen countless of cases like this, and it's sad. So,
So just be cautious when you're experimenting with different things and
yes, be very cautious. So, everybody, thanks for jumping in. I want to keep this going. Like I'm feeling really good tonight. We just did an hour-long coaching call right before this for our group of community. If you guys are interested in joining that community, literally, it's affordable for everybody. You get a step-by-step 6-month program to take your life from wherever you're at to heights that you never knew possible, physically, mentally, spiritually, and relationally. Your marriage will blow through the roof. I'm telling you, and the same way your limitations in life will fall off,
yeah.
and you will grow so much that you never knew was possible. And you have to come hang out with us. It's really fun. But even without that aspect, literally just the digital course itself, or if you want to work on one-on-one with us, let us know. But come in now. We literally only have one spot left in our coaching program for our one-on-one
Yeah.
coaching, one spot left. Our group coaching, we have unlimited spots,
Right.
but you don't get one-on-one access with us other than kind of stuff like this, and you get our digital course. If that's what you want, you wanna find out, literally message us today. It's not free, but I guarantee our lowest tier one literally,
It's affordable for anybody.
it's for everybody. I think our low tier is like right now is at $57 for our digital course and you per month.
Which is crazy.
Like who got you got to know $57 to find out what's possible in your life. If you want to work a one-on-one with us, I'm not going to joke with you. That's in the upwards of the high four figures to work one-on-one with us. But that will also change your life. So whatever you want, find out what's possible. Literally, that was what changed our life the most when we started growing physically, mentally, spiritually, and relationally,
Yeah.
and when we started investing into coaching.
Yeah.
And this is not a flex. I just want to tell you that we put our money where our mouth is. 4 years ago, we sold our second car to be able to invest into coaching. And in the past 4 years, we spent $120,000 on personal coaching. And I'm not rich. Like literally, I still have one car to this day because we take our money. I could have a freaking Lamborghini sitting in the driveway if I didn't invest into coaching all the time. But guess what? I wouldn't have this smile on my face and a 10 out of 10 marriage.
Yeah. It changed our life.
So put your money where your mouth is if that's what you want, and let's go. That's what it really takes. So love y'all. Much love. Winners win. Y'all stay winning. Find out what's possible and have an amazing night. God bless y'all.